the 7 benedictions of the traditional Jewish wedding ceremony. Cantor Simon Spiro sang his own arrangement, incorporating settings by Meyer Machtenberg and Sholem Caleb, with the Coro Hebraico conducted by its music director and founder Neil Levin from a Naxos CD. Another of the leading cantors of our day, Alberto Mizrahi, is our soloist in the next 3 selections. Neil Levin tells us about his background.
Alberto Mizrahi comes from a completely different kind of background. It's quite extraordinary because Alberto is a Sephardi Jew, born in Greece. There was a very large segment of Greek Jewry who were taken to German concentration camps, and many of them murdered. His father was one of the fortunate survivors. He came to the United States with his family, was a child, and simply latched on to the Ashkenazi cantorial tradition without forgetting his own Sephardi tradition. And Alberto became one of the leading American cantors.
The first 2 selections are excerpts from liturgical poems for the eve of Yom Kippur, Ya'aleh and Ki Hinei Kachomer, both set by Joshua Lind, again Neil Levin.
Joshua Lind was one of the most beloved cantorial teachers as well as cantors. Many famous cantors worked with Lind, including Jan Pearce and Richard Tucker. Lind represents a very folksy, down-to-earth melodic style, as opposed to a more formal, restrained cantorial style, both of which are important branches of the art of European Ashkenazi chazanut. Lind's style, of course, was very popular in Europe, in Eastern Europe, among traveling choirs in smaller towns and cities, but in America it was even more popular. I shouldn't say was, is very popular. These are selections that one hears today in not only Orthodox, but traditional synagogues, and they can be sung by women's and men's voices together. In this case, this piyut, the liturgical poem inserted in this case into the Yom Kippur Eve service, sometimes known as the Kol Nidre service, but it's the Yom Kippur Eve service. This piyut is sung by a choir of children and men, not women and men, and we hear that purity of sound that's typical of that tradition.
Here is cantor Alberto Mizrahi to perform excerpts from Joshua Lind's settings of Ya'aleh and Ki Hinei Kachomer, followed by a concert version of a prayer from the daily liturgy about the restoration of Jerusalem.